All right. Well, whoops, keys. Not keys. Poles. Forgot my poles. You can see how my car is just like completely covered in salt or something. That's not frost, that's road gunk. Because I'm on my way home from really just getting snowed out up there. I didn't realize, because down here, I mean, there's a certain line that you cross as you go north. And beyond that, there seems to be snow, or at least a climate enough where they're getting precipitation right now. And it's not precipitating here. And this is north of where I live. So this is just, let's take a weird back way to get home. I'll drive some dirt roads. And then I found this thing out there and I said, well, what the hell? Not like I'm doing anything, and I wanted to go hiking anyway. Oh. Now, where I'm at right now, at least according to AllTrails, which I did start, there's really not a trail here. There's a whole trail system over there, but there's a trailhead and a marker here. So this seems like a human pathway. That seems like an ATV pathway, and that seems like an old extant road. Maybe a logging road. There we go. Now these gloves are going to be a better use case, right? Sure, it's what, 32 degrees or something. Nearly freezing. On the cusp, of freezing. But as I move around, you know, those other heavier mittens were just too heavy. I would sweat in them, want to take the fingers, you know, off. Plus, they didn't have throwbackable thumbs. Looks like there might be a trail over there too. I wonder if it's this trail. I do intend to connect with that other trail. So if this does end up looping around, I will be walking through the woods. Sans trail. Fortunately, this trail seems to be going in the direction that I want to go, to meet up with that other trailhead. Or at least other trail system. I should be running across a road, I think, eventually. Yet another reason to have poles, right? What I'm going to do here is place my palm on top of each of these, post them down, and then use them like a stilt. And that gets me over that spot. Without poles, I guess you'd have to run and jump or walk through it. I kind of jumped, but I used the poles to support my path. And these poles, they're adjustable, right? I almost never readjust them. But then again, I usually don't have trouble crossing things like that. And if I did, if I looked at it and said, this isn't going to work, I need longer poles, I can extend the length of these poles. They're set to, me hiking. So I had a couple problems with the backpack strap that I got for this Action 5 Pro. The first being that when I wore it on my strap, right? On my right hand strap, body strap, in a normal backpack, that would be all you had. Two of them, I suppose. I think the path is gonna burn just down right by here. There's nothing going on over there. And because the strap, I guess, points into the woods, the camera would be more oriented towards the right-hand side. And you'd only get so much of a view of what I'm looking at. And sometimes I talk about something or point to something, and then in that video, you couldn't see me or the thing that I was talking about. You couldn't see me pointing to the thing, and you couldn't even see the thing. Because I guess I was close enough, and it was to my left-hand side, and with my left hand, I was gesturing. It's pretty cool in there. And so I was like, man, I gotta freaking get a head, not a headset, but kind of like a head strap, almost like what you put on a helmet, just on your, like an old school heavy headlamp, right? They used to have that ridge along the top. When I purchased, suite of things to support this camera, I got one of those, and I couldn't figure out how the hell I was supposed to make it attach. I thought it came with everything that I needed, but I've come to find, through my own deduction, yeah, no, I like it over by the rocks over here. It's a bit more open too, still. There's a lot of static out here in terms of these little things that have not been suppressed by the larger trees. Guess there's no bushes in that area. They are quite prickly over here too. So I want to stay away from those. Hey, a trail. Now this could be a game trail. Yeah, I think my trail's over there. Let's stick with the safe spot. Tell you what, when my fingers were out earlier, they got pretty cold. Inside of this, they've been good. All right. So, I found out that I needed an adapter specifically for this model of action cam. You know, they market the thing as a universal thing, but to use those universal standardized parts, you need an adapter for your camera to that universal standard, because the mounts apparently on the bottom of these action cameras have not been standardized. And so you need essentially this adapter to go into that. And so I found a set of two for $17 on Amazon. I pulled the trigger on those, but then I left home and drove north. And I was out once in the snow. And now, it may be cold, but this is fall territory. Yeah, not quite